Hi guys, welcome back to my new YouTube channel. Another week, another video without the mic. We're working on the mic situation. We'll sort that out as soon as possible. So I apologize in advance for any background noises that you might be hearing in this video. But let that not stop you from, watching this video to the very end, giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing if you aren't already subscribed to this channel, and doing all of that good stuff. Alright, let's just dive right into what we have to talk about for today. Before I go on, I would like to say, don't come for me. Be open-minded and listen to things I have to say. There's a lot of truth in things I have to say, and let's not be cloud our minds with what the world standard says. Remember, this is also a faith-based channel. Everything that we say and decide to talk about is based on what the biblical standard of whatever topic it is that we're talking about is. And before I go on, don't think that because I'm not a married person doesn't mean that I don't have the rights or opinions or I'm not entitled to the opinions that I have about certain things. I'm sure that you had thought about your married life before you eventually got married. People that are already married, okay? So people that always come out to say things like, oh, you don't have a kid, so you can't talk about raising children, or you're not married, so you can't talk about married life. Please debunk the idea. From the thumbnail and from the topic, I'm already sure that you already know what it is that we're here for. But I'd just like to start by asking why, for people that aren't already married, why do you want to get married? I'm sure that people that are already married, they have reasons as to why they married whoever it is that they married. Yeah, maybe some people didn't ask themselves why it is they wanted to get married. I think there also needs to be a why you want to get married, because if you look at life, people just think that's the next thing to do. Because my generation is different, but for my parents' generation, we hear how, okay, you go to school, you finish from uni, you get a job. Once you get a job, the next thing, especially for females, that's expected for you is get married. Except now people want to attain a certain amount of money before they even think about settling down and getting married. Whatever you decide to do is very fine by you and yourself, as long as you're in alignment with what God's will and plans for your life is. It's very fine. But why do you want to get married? Why do you want to? Don't get me wrong, marriage is a very beautiful thing. Everything that God creates is good. No matter how much the devil wants to try to pervert everything that God creates, as long as God created it, is a beautiful thing. So definitely marriage is a beautiful thing. I just want to get married one day and I look forward to all the beauty that marriage brings. But I think that a lot of people have made marriage an idol, and to an extent I won't even blame people, because people act or do whatever it is based on their understanding of certain things. Like I started by saying, some people might have come from a home where, especially as females, they tell you that there's a biological timeline. So once you get to this certain age, it's very difficult for you to, get a man that wants to settle down with you, especially if you have so and so amount of money. Men don't like to be intimidated by women's finances, or you won't be able to, carry a child's full term if you are at a certain age, and all of that is more difficult, which is not a lie, it's true. But on the flip side, I also know women in this time and age that are close to 50 or have even clocked 50 that have carried children full term and given birth to the full children, and they are healthy, and both the mother and both the child are doing well. My point is using that example is, if that's the reason why you really just want to jump into something like that, remember that you're not serving a God that lies. I mean, look at Sarah from the Bible, look at Rebecca. God still performs miracles. So just hold on to that and stop trying to run and follow the timeline and all of that. Yeah, let's just mention that while we go on. But even in the wise people want to get married, I think that I've heard a lot of very flimsy excuses, and I think that, okay, everybody is entitled to the opinion. Let me start with that. But I think one of the most weird reasons I've heard as to why anybody wants to get married is, this person said because they didn't want to commit fornication. It sounds okay, it sounds nice, but is the context to how she said it. So it's not like she exactly was in love, but just to avoid the temptation of fornicating because she came from a Christian home, she then says to quickly get herself married. Again, a very flimsy excuse. You see how people get into marriages and is giving what I ordered versus what I got because their standard or the idol that they've made of what the marriage should look like is what the world has presented today, where somebody's always opening the doors for you, breakfast in bed and all of that good stuff. First of all, I always wonder, don't you people grow up with parents? Your parents, I mean, I come from a happy home and I don't see my parents, I see how they love each other in services and all that, but I don't see that there's always breakfast in bed. I don't see that all the things that social media presents is everything that happens every single time in my home. So I don't know why people grow up with such expectations. I don't get it. But again, that's always why people would get into marriages and giving what I ordered versus what I got. And I'm just going to say that this is to men, in fact to both genders. What you start doing when you're dating, just be prepared to keep up the consistency. If you start by opening the doors when you go on dates, expect to just carry on with it. So don't start something that you cannot do. If you are going to be taking her out and you feel like you cannot be funding Uber rides every single time, just start with buses so that she knows that the days that you take her out with Uber, you're spoiling her. That's just an advice, putting it out there. Like, don't come for me and say, oh, it's because you're an understanding girlfriend. Whatever, that's just my opinion. That's just what I think, That you get to a certain age and people are just like, oh yeah, when I go to bring a man home, I'm pretty young and I still hear that somebody even told me recently that if by this time next year I'm not married, she's going to punch me. I mean, they can say these things jokingly, aunties say these things jokingly, but it also somehow, depending on a person's level of how much they can take in negative words, these things can just begin to creep in and it makes people feel bad. I think we should also watch what we tell people. I guess your intentions are very nice. You want people to get married, but when you think about it, I see that there are a lot of, especially when it comes to parenting, I see a lot of children handling that situation, like children raising children. Forgive me. And if it looks like I'm insulting my elders, but I see that a lot. Sorry to not really about how old a person gets. I think that there are people that can be younger and have a sense of maturity that older people don't even have, and you don't even see them getting married. I don't think for you, just align yourself with God's will for your life. Ensure that you are doing this because you are ready mentally, financially, and all of that good stuff. And let's have a concrete why. Let your why be concrete. Let your why not be because I'm of age, or let your why not be because I want to be enjoying back rubs, or let your why not be because I don't want to fornicate. I mean, you have the Holy Spirit in you that can help with your self-control. Don't watch things that will push you to fornication, or avoid being in places, or avoid hanging out with people that will push you to fornication. Let's really just do the things the right way. People have so worshipped marriage. You've thought about what your wedding day is going to look like. You've thought about what your marriage is going to look like so much. They can literally wake you up and that's the first thing that you're saying. Again, marriage is a beautiful thing. God intended for marriage, but it doesn't want you to now worship the idea of getting married or the idea of being married. So many people have lost themselves in marriages or in the process of even wanting to get married and ending up with people. So many people have walked away from purpose, the things that they were supposed to do, all because of marriage. And on the flip side, so many people have gained so much more. So many people have walked into purpose. So many people have even realized what their purpose in life while in marriage. So don't make getting married or wanting to be married your God. Don't allow the circumstances around life, push you into making marriage Lord over your life. And it can creep in tiny little ways. Tiny little ways. So I think people really know you need to be checking these things very often. When you get married, okay, what are the things I'm supposed to achieve? I mean, these are things I want for my life. What are the things I'm supposed to achieve with my marriage? What would God have me do in my marriage? Because at the end of the day, it can still be a ministry. Marriage in itself can still be a form of ministry to help other people, and also to promote and let people see that godly marriages can still exist. I know that godly marriages still exist. Your marriage can be that godly marriage if you're already married. If you're not already married, when you get there, it can still be the standard that God has intended. But don't make it an idol. Don't make it more a priority over God. Don't make it the most important thing in your life. There are other important things, and I think for the major thing to look out for to ensure that you're not making this thing a god is, I think, answering the why at every single time. Why am I, before you get married, why am I getting married? When you find the person you're getting married to, why am I choosing this person? Why am I getting married to this person? Oh, we've gotten to 1 year now. Why are we celebrating this 1 year? What are the things that we've achieved? What do we hope to achieve? How can we make God happy? Even in the choices in the marriage, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for myself? Am I doing this to make God happy? I think the answering the why and answering questions and asking yourself questions at every given time will help you to not make these things seem like an idol. And if people are asking for time, if people don't feel like they're ready, this is for parents. Please don't pressure anybody into getting into this. They're the ones that are going to be living with this partner for the rest of their life. Don't make people get into marriage and just feel bad about what the whole situation. It's supposed to be enjoyed, I believe. God really just wants you to be happy. And again, like I said, marriage is a beautiful thing. I also look forward to it, but it shouldn't be God and Lord over your life. Alright, so I think with that we come to the end of this video. As usual, I'll just pray, and I'm just going to pray for people, young people like me, or even people that are not young or are still single. And we're just saying, God, please help us to really properly answer the right questions and help us to make the right choices. Let's not just jump into these things. Let's us not just pick people, because that's what everybody around us is doing. Everybody around us is getting married. Do it the right way, work in the right precepts, actualize purpose in all of these things. And even for the people that are already married, if there's any way that they've gotten this thing, is anybody already in this thing and they've gotten it wrong, they've strayed from the path that you've intended, Lord God, we ask that bring them to the right path where nothing else seems like an idol over, or they don't place marriage as a priority over you. For Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed. Amen. I really do hope that as usual, I learned something from this video. Maybe I'm reminded of something in this video. Once again, I apologize for if there are background noises. But thank you for watching this video this far. Please don't forget to like, please don't forget to subscribe, please don't forget to comment. If you're married, let me know. If you aren't already married, let me know. If you are single, searching, all that good stuff, let me know. Let me know in the comment section below. Bye guys.